If you're beating your kids, giving whoopings, some type of corporal punishment, you could be ruining them. Our guest today, Latoya Nichole, is the author of a book called Putting Down the Belt, The Conscious Parenting Guide. She is a mother and entrepreneur, and she's going to tell you about her experience in putting down the belt, changing how she was taught as a child and how she started her parenting journey. And so stay tuned so that you can get the information that you need to make sure your kids are on track for learning and stay on track for success and keep that relationship in place too. All right, hit like, subscribe. Let's get into it. Hi, thank you so much for joining the Falling for Learning podcast. We have this podcast to help parents and caregivers with having the resources, strategies, and tools needed to make sure that their children are on track for learning and to stay on track for success. We are so glad that you've joined us today. We have kind of leveled up our production quality. We're using our eCam, and we are really excited to have you. Our last episode that was a solo, episode 2 in season 2 had some technical issues, so we're back to looking grainy, but we've been getting it together. So thank you for joining us here. We're all about elevation, getting better every time, and our guest Latoya Nichole is going to really get into some ways that we could change some of that generational kind of practices, bad habits that we've had before. Thank you, Latoya Nichole. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello. Hello.
Okay, so can you tell us about, and we always ask our guests this, what hooked you into learning? What made you love learning as a kid?
The fact that I could have information at my fingertips. Honestly, anytime I was bored or needed something to do, it was like go look something up in the dictionary, go read a book, things like that. So I was always learning. I think I just love learning.
Okay. All right. So that didn't annoy you when they were asking you to do that kind of stuff?
No, it
That's
didn't. It
good.
made me want to know more.
Excellent. Yes. It's all about and how parents do it, right? Good. All
Mhm.
right. And can you tell us about yourself as, a learner over the years, like your educational journey, your career? We know that you're an entrepreneur and what else?
Yes.
Yes.
So educational journey, I grew up actually as a military brat. I was raised by immigrants. My
Okay.
mom was born in the UK and my grandparents, they are actually from Jamaica, and both of them have the reading level, came to this country with the reading level of third grader.
Mm.
But here we are. I am a product of generational wealth. However that looks for some immigrants. um let's see, military brat. I graduated from high school in New Jersey, and joined the military shortly afterwards because I wanted to keep my benefits. Um, and from there, I took college courses and things like that. But I've never stopped learning. I've never stopped taking in information, especially when it comes to kids, because I'm always around kids. I've always worked with kids. And of course, I have kids of my own.
Yes, so you're a product of generational wealth. I want to go back to that. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, I say this because when my grandfather first came to this country, he was picking oranges.
Mm,
When he died, he was a homeowner.
all
He had
right.
stock and things like that. So he left a legacy. My
Wonderful.
grandmother still lives in that house to this day. Um,
Yeah.
they had two children, my mother and her sister. My mom's sister passed, but she left a daughter behind.
Yeah.
That daughter is currently working on her PhD at Johns Hopkins.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is what our show is about, legacy building. So we
Yes.
know that, you came from a history where your family is, has more, giving you more than they were given. And I'm sure you're
Mhm.
passing that on to your children, which brings
I
us to, putting down the belt. How is that related to legacy building or, generational health and wealth, right?
So yes, because we do want to pass down generational health as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, because of the color of our skin, we are affected by slavery, and I think it doesn't matter what color your skin is. I think we're all affected by it. Period. Especially if you beat your kids. It was known a practice of using belts or whippings to get people in line to get the desired behavior. But it
Mm-hmm.
never worked then, and it still doesn't work now.
Okay. All right. So when you were growing up, and you even told me that you started with doing this with your kids, right?
Yeah, I used to beat my kids. I'm not gonna lie. I used to beat them. But I learned that there's a different way to get the desired outcome. Um, and that's through conscious parenting. It's all the knowledge has always been there for me too, because of all the psychology courses and developmental psychology courses that I've taken.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, okay, they are doing age appropriate activities. How do I, as the parent, still give them discipline and boundaries that go alongside of what the desired behavior is, or what the punishment, if there's punishment that needs to be enacted,
So,
is.
so hold on. So you're saying, I noticed you didn't say like if they're acting up. You're saying they're doing age appropriate activities, right?
Hmm.
So, what might some of those age appropriate activities that maybe if I'm still, I'm still doing what my parents did, I'm whooping my kids, I'm getting that belt out. What are some of those age appropriate activities we might label as acting up or, cutting up or whatever we want to call it?
So it's a lot of different things. Most of it is like, people always love to say the kids not listening. You have to say things more than one time. But
Right.
after the first time of saying it, there should be a consequence. After the first time. And it's because we're drawing it out. We're saying the same thing over and over and over. The kids are
Right.
like, hey, I got a couple of times before mom gets up on her feet, so I'm
Right.
just gonna keep going. Especially with the younger ones. Another one, a teen might look like they're acting out because you feel as though they might be talking back to you, when in actuality, they could just be emotional, or having an outburst because of something that's going on in their life. And because you're so quick to rule it as them being disobedient, you're not getting to the root of the problem.
This is interesting because, yes, we talk about the hormones, the mix of hormones and emotions that teenagers go through. And it is a trying time for the kids and definitely for the parents. So, how are you dealing with that? I'm noticing you say the first time there is a consequence. So, what kind of consequence would that look like? Because we're talking about putting down the belt. So, what are we doing instead?
So, this actually gives me a great opportunity to kind of plug my book.
Let's plug it. Let's do it.
So I have a book called Putting Down the Belt. It is on sale on Amazon.
I got my copy. Go
And
get yours.
in the book, there is a worksheet that you can actually use in real time for any issues that you're having. So in the book, I use an acronym, which is BELT, which is my formula to help you put down the belt. The B stands for breaking biases. E is for evaluating the situation. L is for love. And T is for thoughtful parenting.
Mm.
And we use this to actually say, okay, my child is having an issue. How do I break the biases surrounding this issue? So say I have a teenager who has emotional outbursts, right? I'm gonna look at it. My bias might be, I got a disrespectful child,
Right.
I would never talk to my parents that way. My parents would knock me into next week if I talk to them like that. That's the bias, right?
It is.
So when we go down to E, evaluating the situation, we might find out that our child might be getting bullied at school.
Mm.
We might find out that maybe because who I'm dating, or maybe because I recently am going through a divorce or something, or we just broke up, or me and the other parent are not getting along, and it is affecting my child,
Okay, so
right?
we're really thinking about evaluating and maybe
Yes,
even not blaming my child, but looking to see what my role might be in it.
yes, because in conscious parenting, the problem is never the child. The problem is the problem. And a lot of people treat the problem as if it's the child.
The problem is
And
never the child. The problem is
it's
the
not,
problem. Okay, get this book. Okay. But I got
yes.
to start looking at
So,
myself. I might be doing something wrong.
or
Hmm.
we might even find out that, yeah, we might even find out that our child is just acting out because they miss having time with us. Maybe you're spending more time with the other kids and you're not giving them enough time, right? That's evaluating the situation. Once you're able to evaluate it, you can be like, okay, I can see what's going on. So when you get to the L portion, which is love, you're
Mm.
like, how do I love on my child through this situation? How do I love on my child through this situation? Maybe I need to plan more one-on-one time with my child. Maybe I need to get my child into counseling. Maybe I need to go up to the school, set an appointment with the guidance counselor, see what's going on at school. You know, you
Mm.
never know. These kids, they have so much going on. And sometimes we're so caught up in our own life that we neglect to understand that they have lives too.
Mm.
And
This
that's
is
where the
heavy.
thoughtful parenting, that's that conscious parenting,
I
thoughtfulness,
see.
mindfulness. How do you approach them in that way? So on the worksheet, you actually have a little section where you put in your action plan. So you might say, okay, now my action plan is I'm going to plan one-on-one dates with my child once a week. I'm going to go up to the school and make sure that nothing's wrong with my child school wise. I'm going to
Okay.
talk to my child and say, maybe, give them an audit. I love telling people to audit yourself, audit yourself towards your kids. Ask them, what am I doing? I like to go with the negative first. What can I
Okay.
do to be a better parent to you? Because if you give them the space and they feel comfortable enough, they will hurt your feelings.
So let me
Hurt
just
them.
pause for a second because you do have to really be in a different space, right? Because if you're in the space where I'm just busy, I'm too busy to deal with this, I'm too busy to deal with that, then this isn't going to work. So I really have to be reflective about myself. So I have to do some work. Like this is not
Yes,
just, it's easy to pick up that belt, right? Isn't that easy?
it is. Look,
You want me to take
very
on some
easy.
blame and everything. I got to take on some blame? Man.
Yes, you do. You do. But the good thing is after you ask them that, ask them, because after your feelings is hurt, you're gonna need to hear some good. What am I doing good? What do I need to keep doing?
Okay.
What do you love about me being your mom?
Okay.
That way you feel good about yourself. Okay, look,
It's not
I
all
got I might
bad.
got some work over here, but guess what? They still left me. They still
Okay, can you take us back to like what caused this switch for you? Because as you stated earlier, you already were into it, right? You got whippings as a child, your kids getting whippings, and then somehow you decided to change this. So what changed you? What was the thing?
it is the realization of turning into my mother. As real as that sounds,
Tell us
like
more
for
about
real,
that.
like I don't want to be my mother. I don't want to be running around the house with the belt in one hand, fussing and cussing at everybody.
Mm,
You know how
okay.
stressful that is? Your blood pressure high,
Mm,
you stressed out, you got a headache, hair falling out, all that stuff. All because you want everybody to get in line and you just Wicked Witch of the West with the belt. Everybody can get it. But no, that's
I've been
crazy.
there.
Like when you think about it, it's crazy. You see them women that be in the store fussing and cussing at their kids, threatening them. Some of them even put their hands on their kids in the store. They don't care. But when you're around somebody like that, that is stressful to you. You're like, oh my God. Like you could do this in so many other ways. A big line. There's a big line between the behavior and getting the belt. You have a whole list of other things that you can do before you get to the belt. And that's why I'm
Okay.
here. It's like, okay, there's things that you can do that you can better understand your child. You can correct the behavior and ensure that they don't do it again. And even if they do, guess what? How many times did it take your hard headed behind to figure something out? You know, we all hard headed about something.
Yes. Yes. Hold that thought because we're going to be on a break and then we're going to get back to it, okay? In the United States, 75% of children don't know how to write well. Add that to the fact that so many people out there are trying to silence the voices of those who have been oppressed and trying to prevent them from telling their story. Who's going to tell your story? If your child doesn't know how to write well, I have 2 books to address this issue: The Rewrite Method and The Rewrite Method Workbook, written to make sure that parents know what to do, that educators know what to do to get their children to write better, and just not write better, but love to write. Make sure that your next generation could tell their story and they won't be silenced. Go to fallingforlearning.com today to purchase your set. Okay, so we are with Latoya Nichole. We're going to continue to talk about how she made the switch from whooping her kids, just like she's been taught as a kid. You know, she got whoopings as a child. Many of us did, and she did the same thing with her kids, but she made this switch. How is this different than, is conscious parenting and like the gentle parenting the same, or is there a difference?
Oh, it is not the same. Actually, I get offended by them words. I get offended by gentle parenting because when you think of gentle parenting, you think of Johnny, stop that. Stop that, Johnny. Oh my gosh. Stop, Johnny. Stop. Everybody thinks of this when they hear gentle parenting. It's that lazy parenting, that permissive parenting. You're gonna say the same thing. There's no discipline, there's no boundaries, you
Mm,
know. But conscious parenting is not that. It's about having the boundaries. It's about having emotional intelligence. It knows that kids are going to test the boundaries. Here's how you put a safety device in place. Just like when you go bowling, you know, they put the bumpers up.
mm.
Conscious parenting is the bumpers.
Okay.
It's the bumpers for the kids. It's like, yo, I know you're going to be a kid and you're going to do things that kids do, but I'm your safety net. I'm your safety net.
So that, I mean, that's so, it's such a good analogy, like to understand. Can you tell us about like maybe some missteps that happened along the way, or some real takeaways that you had as you were doing this, as you've been making the change?
So, yes, I will always say that I am not a perfect parent, and this is a journey. But I've been in this journey long enough to guide you. And because I used to beat my kids first, um, I'm I'm better at helping you because most conscious parenting coaches have not gone through this before. And it's really just being able to, in the moment, just stop
Mm.
and not fuss and cuss and be like, okay, what is going on in this situation? How do I be smarter than my kid because my kid thinks they're smarter than me? Not like seriously, I'm not kidding you. 9 times out of 10, these kids think they're smarter than us.
Tell us
And
some
you
more.
have to be the one. You have to be the one smarter. And a lot of times it's just like, yo, I gotta understand what my kid is thinking.
Wait a minute. What do you
So
mean by they think we're smarter? Tell us more. Like break that down.
so you ever ooh, what's the one? You know how you tell your kids go clean your room? Go
Right.
clean your room.
Mm-hmm.
And if you walk away, you tell them go clean their room, you walk away, right? You go do your own thing. Guess what they're doing? Not cleaning their room, right? Right? Yeah, they're not cleaning their room. And the first thing out your mouth is like, yo, you want to be like, didn't I tell you to clean your room?
Oh
Why you
yeah.
not clean your room? Blah, 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 blah. But guess what? That's not gonna get the room clean.
Right. I'm
What does
still
that
not.
do? That stresses you out. It stresses your kid out, right? Instead, you can actually set timers. You can give them a goal list like, hey, what do you want to do first? Do you want to clean this up first? Do you want to not clean this up? Or do you want to clean that up first?
Mm.
And guess what? They're still going to, even if you give them tasks before they even get into it, because my son is so guilty of this. He
Okay.
might, look, go clean your room. I don't want to clean my room. And he thinks that if he gives this whole theatrical performance, he's going to get out of cleaning his room. It never works unless I'm in the mood where I'm like, you know what, I don't care. And I let it go because sometimes it's not that serious. And sometimes it's like, look, son, if you don't clean your room, CPS is going to come get you. You're going to be living in foster care and you're not even going to have your own room. You're going to have to share a
Mm.
bed with like 10 other people. Look, you exaggerate it as much as you want to. You can even pull up foster parenting stories
Oh my
on the
goodness.
internet where
They're
people,
there.
look, I'm not saying scare your kids, but sometimes you got to let them know, like, you got to eat. But still, you can break it down into smaller tasks because honestly, as soon as you walk away, they're not going to do anything because they're overwhelmed. But that goes
Mm.
back to conscious parenting and being mindful and evaluating the situation. You know who your kids are. You know how they act. You know how they're going to react to certain things. How do you stage it in a way that you don't get a reaction out of them? Oh, I know my kid likes to play video games. So guess what? This is what's going to be the goal at the end. Like, look how clean your room is. Now you get to play video games to the rest of the night and I don't have to bother you because your room is clean.
Okay. That makes sense.
But
So,
for real, they really do need it broken down into little tasks for them.
like a lot about what you said, giving them a smaller task, making it digestible for them, because kids do get overwhelmed by, the room might be very dirty. And so, how do I get started? What do I do? And it's
Very
just
dirty.
easy.
It's like a tornado hit it.
Right. It's just easier to put it off. If you yell a little bit, like I might be used to you yelling, I could just.
Ignore it. Which is what they do. Like seriously.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
okay, so you said gentle parenting. I told you I was like, oh, I don't like that term.
Yes, yes.
There is no difference between to me, there's no difference between that gentle parent and that parent that's constantly yelling at their kids
Okay.
before they get the belt. You're
Mm.
both yelling, 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 saying the same thing over and over and not doing anything about it. The
Mm.
only difference is one parent goes and gets the belt after they get frustrated. The other one doesn't do anything.
I see. So, what changes have you seen in your kids since you did this? Because we did talk about that generational health. So, what changes have you seen in them?
So I see them, they are happier. I don't get a lot of pushback for a lot of things. I see that my children are very self sufficient. They will take the initiative to do a lot of things on their own.
Mm.
I did have make a video the other day. My son was cleaning out the toilet. He was using my dish soap,
Yes, I
but
saw that.
it's in the trash now. But how can I be mad at a child that took the initiative to clean, whether they
Yeah.
did it right or wrong? I'm not gonna be mad at him doing it wrong. Uh, I'm just happy that he did it because that's positive reinforcement. Kids literally operate off positive reinforcement. If you want to see positive behaviors, reinforce it. Praise them for it. Even if it's like not perfect, it don't gotta be perfect. Just let them know, I appreciate you. Thank you. Like, oh, yes, give them all the praises. Like, I, I would have never thought of that. You are so smart. Sometimes
Yeah.
they think they are, like I said, they think they smarter than you. You gotta let them think it sometimes. Sometimes you gotta let them think it. We know the truth. We
Right.
have more life experience, but sometimes they want to have a say in how things go in their own environment. Their home is supposed to be their safe space.
Yeah. So
If
tell
you're walking around like a tyrant and treating everybody in the household like they're your subjects,
mm,
then imagine how that works out for you.
yeah. So tell me about your book, Putting Down the Belt. Like, how did it come about? Give me some background on it.
So there is no book out there about how to put down a belt. I realized that, like, that, which is crazy, but the way that the book came about was through the morning meetup. Um, they says, you need a formula to be able to help people, something that you can easily refer to. And it was somebody else, Nayetta from the Activity Playhouse.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, when I think of you and I think of your brand, I think about the belt.
Okay. Can you
So
pause for a moment? Like, I don't know if people know what the morning meetup is, so just let them know what it is.
So the morning meetup is a group for entrepreneurs who want to do bigger and better things in their business.
Right.
Come together and meet every day, Monday through Friday, to where we can gain insights and have community when it comes to our business. I mean, that's how we know each other.
Yes, we're
I'm
part of the
so
morning
glad to be
meetup.
introduced to you.
Yes. All right. So you're telling us, uh, one of the things for your business is have your conscious parenting brand, and you had so one of the members was talking about, they think about the belt, and then take it from there. What put together for
So
you?
somebody and I was like, oh man, I can't think of like what would go with the belt. Like, what would go with the belt? So I had someone else give me some words for the acronyms, and the longer I looked at it, I was like, this is not my brand. This is not my brand at all. Um, but I was able to replace the words that you now know, which is breaking biases, evaluating the situation, love, and thoughtful parenting, which represents my brand. And this is something that I could use to help people put down the belt.
Yes.
So, and of course, I applied a worksheet in there because sometimes it's not enough to just have the information. Sometimes you need to be able to write out your problems, kind of like journaling.
Yes. It's wonderful. I mean, looking through it and really, I say people need to go out and get it. It's so important. Part of being an entrepreneur is leveling up yourself, and, it's also changing yourself and changing your practices. And that doesn't happen, it happens through reflection, it happens through all of that. And then that's obviously what conscious parenting is, thinking about, what happened with us when we were kids and how we could improve upon that, right? We want our children to do better than what we had. We want them to be able to um, grow beyond what we were able to grow, right? About that legacy building. And you don't have to
Yeah.
pick oranges. Your grandparent did that for you, and now you're going to give your child more than what you had.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, it's good. We need to think about what we're doing. Some of the things, like you said, we did, rooted in slavery. And, we'll beat the kids so nobody else will beat them, kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's
And
important.
beating kids never kept them out of jail. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Mm,
You
yeah.
go into jail, ask them who all got a whooping. I guarantee you, everybody will raise.
Very true, right? We thought that, yeah, yeah. So it's something we have to think about. We just do things and just to keep doing them because that's how it was when I had it. Is we need to think beyond that, right? And we're so
Yeah.
glad that you've joined us and you're spreading this message with people because we don't know what we don't know, right? If you just continue to
Yes.
do the same practices, we're going to get the same results, right? We want our kids to have more, right? Our program,
Mm.
Falling for Learning, is about making sure the kids are on track for learning and stay on track for success. And so part of that, of course, is academics, but also it has to be about our relationships, about their health and wellness as well. So
The
it's all of
relationship
those
is the
things.
foundation of their life. It really
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
Want to build a strong foundation so they can self-sustain. Because eventually they're gonna leave the nest.
Yes. Yes. And what are some, final thoughts that you could give to our guests out there who are now hearing your message and are going to consider what to do? What are some final thoughts?
So one of the biggest things I want to let people know is that it's okay. Um, One, I don't judge people. I understand, like, I tell people what I do, and some people are like taken aback by it. But I do want you to know, like, if you beat your kids, and I'm not gonna judge you by what you have in your diaper bag. These were the tools that were handed down to you. I am here to help you put more tools in your diaper bag. I'm giving you more accessories that you can use on your parenting journey. That's all I'm here to do. I want to be the change that I see in the world, and I started in my own home, in my own life. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again for supporting the Falling for Learning podcast. New episodes go live every Saturday at 5 p.m. You can watch us on youtube.com at Falling for Learning or listen on all major podcast platforms such as Apple, Google, Audible, Spotify, and much more. For more resources, visit fallinginlovewithlearning.com. We really appreciate you. Have a wonderful week.